Well, hello, my fabulous friends. I hope you're doing well. Well, a lot of you really enjoyed this reading I did, astrology and tarot, and there's many requests to do Starmer, so I'm going to be doing Starmer for you today. Now, when I looked for his birth data, wherever you are, you say it, I could not find a time for him anywhere. So I just used the basic noon that everybody uses, and I took it from there. It generally shouldn't really matter because his moon is right in the middle of a Libra. A lot of these planets will be on par. We just don't know where he actually is in his chart. All right, maybe we can suss it out a little bit. So when I go to the ancient astrology tarot chart, I look for his birthday, September 2nd. He is the King of Pentacles, and he is the Nine of Pentacles for his personality. I'm going to just put this here if you want to screenshot it. If not, later today, I hope to have it up there before I upload these videos. Look down in the description box and I'll have a link. And that's what I love about having my own website now. I can just put links to the website. You can download these there, no problem. All right, so this is, he is actually a King of Pentacles and a Nine of Pentacles. Now, the King of Pentacles, that doesn't automatically mean that you were born to be rich. It's what you do with that, with your luck with it. Like you think about it, um, you know, Harry is supposed to be a King of Pentacles. He hasn't been successful in anything at all. And he hasn't accumulated anything. Now, Keir is 62. He's actually in his golden year, believe it or not. Born in 62 and he's 62. That's his golden year. Um, he has been successful. I mean, he's the PM of the UK. I mean, he's sitting on the throne. That's as close as you can get to the king, as possible, to the emperor. It's the one under the emperor, and there he is as the King of Pentacles. This also tells me he's very stubborn and he's very attached to his land, but he will definitely be very successful in his older years. He'll have a very successful retirement. But the thing is, he is born to be alone. Now, that doesn't mean he gets divorced. You can be alone in a marriage. I mean, look at how many stars say, "Oh yeah, we've been separated for 6 years," but they're still married. But he is definitely going to be alone with whether it's his own thoughts. Also, this is a very feminine card. That's all I'm saying about that. So there's his personality. So let's get to see what's happening in the next 30 days for him. All right. So because we don't have a time, we then start with the first house, which is Aries, which is all the natural houses. So the first house, Aries, is how it's your body and it's how you want to be seen in the world. And he actually wants to be seen as the king, the emperor, and sitting on the throne. And you know, um, I think that with I was just gonna say, like, I think that his marriage is kind of a sham because Mercury is here. And I'm not saying that's his birth chart, but I think right now they are creating something here that looks like they are really happily married. And I don't think they are. I think he is looking, I think he has a wandering eye. And I did that reading on him that showed that, and I think we might see something with that because the Empress is here and the Magician. So I don't know if we're going to see something about that. But is he going to resign in the next 30 days? He's looking at his options, definitely looking at his options and wondering what he would do after that. Definitely. I should I stay or should I go? That's what this card is. And this is the manifester. And this is, patience, waiting it out. So does he wait it out? or does he make another decision? So I think with this eclipse coming, the solar eclipse is going to be in Aries. I think we will see shortly after then what he decides to do. If he decides to stay, I think he's going to stay for a very long time. And if he decides to resign, we'll hear shortly thereafter. He's actually thinking about that right now. What's he going to create? Is he going to like, he's got the world in his hands? I mean, at least in what he thinks in March. This is also could be, we've got a, World War III coming up. He could be another Winston Churchill. I'm being sarcastic. He's really looking at all his options, and he's patiently, and that's very, very much so of the King of Pentacles, patiently making up his mind. It will not be a snap decision. There's a bit of stubbornness in this boy. Okay. So now we go to Taurus, his second house. And I don't really have to show you the chart all the time because we're in the natural houses. And that, of course, is voice. That is family of origin and whatnot. But I think here for him, is he going to make a decision to leave? Is he going to make a decision to leave? To start fresh? I think he's seriously thinking about it. He may have discussed this with the king already. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Charles isn't doing anything to protect the people or whatnot." He may have discussed his departure with the king already, and they may have discussed long-term plans. Look at that. The clock agrees with me. And if you go back and look at my William/King projections, something is coming up in March, guys. I think these eclipses are going to, I just keep hearing when one door closes, another door opens. So let's see his Gemini. This is his siblings. This is short travels, news articles. Again, like is he thinking of moving on? Or will he be? I don't think he's going to be forced out. I'm not getting that at all. I'm getting it's 100% his decision. Now, I don't know if he has any siblings or not. I don't know. But that also could be brothers in such a way that, Ukraine and Russia are brothers, right? Or, Holland and Germany are brother nations, or, Palestine and Israel are brother nations. And yes, they are. They're brothers from a different mother. Just because the religion is different doesn't mean they aren't. So is this something that, um, you know, Scotland and Ireland, brothers, nations, right? I know, you know what I mean. You know what I mean. So I'm wondering if something is here. I'm wondering if he's going to try and broker a deal with, he might be looking at this Ukraine thing as, either I'm going to go all in or I'm walking away. I think, I think that's going to be the big decision whether he stays or goes. I really do. All right, so let's see his next one. He's got Mars in Cancer, as everybody does. Guys, what more can I say? This Mars in Cancer is going to upset the card. And some people will be cheering and some people will be crying. And, of course, his detractors will be cheering and his supporters will be crying. Now, this is home, right? Your fourth house is home. It's mother. I don't know if his mother is alive. I don't know. There could be something coming up with his mother, but we don't have his time. So we don't know if that's just a natural place, but it could be also home could be like home. Something happens, to his home, perhaps a fire or a lightning strike, or um, he invites somebody into his home. I believe it doesn't, don't they live like at 10 Downing? Or is that just where Parliament is? Or something happens that is not very pleasant. And it's something that I think he almost has the same thing because it's his home, that it could be somebody who he thought was a friend comes into his home and disrupts things. All right, so the next one that's activated isn't until Aquarius. This is the 11th house, judgment, and this is Pluto in the first decan. Everybody has this in Aquarius. It just depends where your house is. I think that, and again, we have the flag here. I'm telling you, March is going to be all about changes, about second chances. I think he's gonna make a lot of people angry in March, and that could be why his home changes. Maybe he does decide to call it quits. Is he going to be bullied out? I don't think so. I really think it's going to be his choice. I think that I think there's a lot of disruption, but there is also hope and healing in in his actions and second chances. So I don't know what that means in the sense that I know a lot of people are calling for his resignation. Perhaps he just changes something because remember it's in his hands. So if he says, okay, well, I'll change this policy, and then people go, oh, okay, well, this is, we'll let you stay on. Um, or the hope and healing is he steps down. So there's some kind of hope and healing around his actions for the people of England. And so does that mean, like, for example, in Canada, we have the prime minister is afforded a home. Um, and I'm pretty sure the same thing is in the UK. So if he chooses to step down, is that why there's something disruptive in his home that he has to suddenly move? He has to suddenly get out. All right. So let's look at his Pisces. Now, this is where the eclipse is happening. Um, one of his wishes do happy endings for him, and not the kind that you go to massage therapists and get happy endings. Something drastically changes in it could be foreign lands, something ends in foreign lands that makes him look like the hero. And I'm thinking, like, I'm almost getting a feeling like he wants to be the next Winston Churchill, like he wants to pull the UK into this war and then win the war, and then he'll go down as the person who was the peacemaker or won the war for Ukraine. um, right? I'm getting this really sense of grandiose that he has, that he wants to go down in sitting on the throne, so successful, um, well revered. And look at even the King of Pentacles. He's watching his pentacles. But he's not looking at people. He's looking down at people. And there's something with this eclipse that we're going to see him from a different point of view, and it's going to make him very happy. It could be in foreign lands. Maybe he is part of the peace process in the Middle East. Maybe he is part of the peace process in the Ukraine. I think we're going to hear about it in March, though. I think March will be a pivot. Either if he doesn't announce that he's leaving in March, then he's in it for the long term. If he, yeah, I'm calling it. That's what I'm calling for Starmer. But these eclipses, watch these eclipses. They're going to activate changes of leadership, kings and queens and prime ministers and especially with it falling in the house of Aries, that's leaders. That is also king. So watch for changes after that. And it's for 6 months after the eclipse. So that's why I was so interested to do March, because everybody has the eclipse, but where is it in your chart? And his is with endings and foreign lands. And he's don't you worry, he hears the chatter that people are calling for his resignation, and he's seriously thinking about it. Seriously, he is. Should I stay? Should I go? I think it has a lot to do with how he's going to handle this whole Ukraine, how things go for him in other lands, believe it or not, rather than his own land. And maybe he does look like a hero, and the people of England give him a second chance. And there's hope and healing and peace, right? All right, well, that's it for this style of. I know you guys want a lot more, but I will get back to that. I don't want to bore everybody and do the same reading over and over and over. So we will try this again in about a week or so, and some of the planets will move, and we'll try it with some other people. All right. So, but in the meantime, YouTube's going to show you a video that you possibly haven't seen. Go ahead and click on that, and I'll see you over there. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. I sure appreciate you.